Doing good wherever you are. If you are not, I wish you well and please stay well. Guys, I want to dive into the issues of today. If you remember, guys, um, there are so many things that came out during the course of the arrest of Ket Mashala. And before that, there was the arrest of KT Molefe. How did that went about? You remember a time when Ket Mashala attempted to or conspired to assassinate his ex-girlfriend, which that did not, it did not go through. Actually, the shooting did occur, but as for his wish, that did not happen. So, moving forward to that, he was then, the ex-girlfriend went to open a case, against Ket Mashala. Then he was then later arrested around last year. So much of things came out. Let me start it in this way. If you remember, there was an issue about PKTT, the political killing task team, political killings task team. So there was that which was started way before the Minister of Police was in picture, Senzo Mchunu. So in that, there were so many things which were implicating Ket Mashala and many more. So they understood that some of the cases that were being investigated were investigated by PKTT. So as they were under that impression that PKTT is investigating this case, they then, because of they have a close person, which was Brown Muhosi, who knew Senzo Mchunu and others, which is Shadrach Sipia, who is who at time was a deputy commissioner of police before his suspension. So this is quite interesting in a way that where did all this begin? All this began at a time when Ket Mashala thought that PKTT is the one who is investigating certain cases, together with KT Molefe. They thought that PKTT is the one that is busy investigating these cases. Right. So what happened was that when Ket Mashala was arrested, in that time of his arrest, then his devices were then confiscated, meaningly as they were taken in also for further investigation, for them to be scrutinized or to be checked, Now, during the course of charging him in the cells now, or at the police station, at this specific police station, the PKTT team was busy charging him. So as they were busy charging him, he then started to talk certain things which, were recorded by these members or these investigators. So he then spoke so many things which were implicating people, unaware that he was also, or will put it in this way, that the investigating officers, they say they did speak with him in that regard to get his also concern, and he said, no, there is no problem with that, you can do your recording, of which some people like us, we know that no one will want to be put there. So he said so many implicating things, he said so many implicating things where he was recorded saying all of those things, and people that he knows, So now when Mchunu now the Minister of Police, Senzo Mchunu, when he spoke with Brown Mukhotsi, and there were so many discussions that were taking place, meetings that were taking place, and then what happened was that with all of these things, when he decided that PKTT should be disbanded, that was the biggest mistake ever done by him. He did the biggest mistake, because now they were trying to squeeze this investigation so it cannot go no further. So when he did that, he thought he was executing, a task that many were looking forward to achieve. But he didn't know that he was doing something that was gonna put him where he is today. And so many people are implicated, and so many people, are arrested already. So what happened was that when Senzo Mchunu sent a letter of disbursement of PKTT, that it should be disbanded because it's kind of using a lot of funds. But PKTT was established by the president, and as it was established by the president, it was trying to, deal more with these political killings cases that were getting no attention. Sure, he did that without even consulting with the president, but he collided with people who are calling themselves informers, like Brown Mukhotsi. Now, so many things were happening to the extent that those who felt like it's wrong that you are trying to destroy something that is working so hard, it's wrong, then many provincial commissioner of KZN was then informed, because most of these members who are working under PKTT are from his province, and he sent these people to Gauteng to assist those investigators who are in Gauteng, because they were under pressure, and some of them are inexperienced, So he then brought these people in to assist. You know, the deeper and the darker side of this is that there are so many things that happened prior this 6 July briefing. There were so many things. And as then the president proposed that there should be a commission, which he then spoke with the retired Justice MADLANGA, and then indeed MADLANGA Commission came to light, and then some people were suspended who are implicated, and because of this, they are dealing with is such a big thing. Right now, sitting in this one thing, there is so much of things that are happening, and there is so much of things that were happening prior this, and so much is being exposed, because they spoke also of judiciary, they spoke of NPA, they spoke of law enforcement and police, and so many other people who seem to be involved and who seem to be interfering in this task, or in this task team, which was president proposal thing. President proposed that there should be a team that will mainly focus to these killings. And the investigations that were done were so big and were so successful. Look at this. So many big people who are implicated today, whom did so much. There's so much of monies that, were given to these people. So much of money, so that these underworld people, or these people who seems to be, or who are being said to be cartels, they can progress in their mission. So now that the PKTT disabandonment was not successful, actually there was a request of 121 dockets that they should be brought to the deputy commissioner, which is General Shadrach Sibia. So all of those things that occurred at the time, you ask yourself, remember the case where 3 constables were missing. 3 constables were missing. And there is so much of things also that I will later speak of in that regard, because there's so much of things that seems to implicate some people. I'll speak that regard, because those 3 investigators, those 3 constables were investigating, or were busy with investigation of Zamazamas. And Zamazamas is a deep thing, because there are so many people, even these people that we hear of, EMPD, a time of discussion of where the body should be dumped of the Brakpan robber. There were 2 places, either to the river or to mine shaft. So how many bodies that are dumped in that mine shaft, in act of to say, no, those people, or they died there because of they were busy digging, they are Zamazamas, a part of Zamazamas. How many people who are dumped in that, in those mine shafts, by law enforcers? How many? that also will be something that will investigate it further and we will bring to your attention, because if someone says something, he knows that there was something prior this, or they are used to do that, because of what? Because of the timing of it, or that they had to dump the body in the river. And one thing that I want to bring to your attention, look at this with a deeper eye. Why did they suggest that they should be dumped, or he should be dumped in the river or the mine shaft? Why? It's because of they are used to do that. There is no other way around it. They are used to do that. And now, this person is already gone and it gets dumped to the river. And now, it will be circled around that this body was found in the river. Got missing and then was found in the river. Remember the story, or remember the incident where 3 constables went missing and then their bodies were found in the river. Their car was found in the river, but the barricade did not seem to have been hit by any vehicle. And the vehicle itself, remember the story, I want to bring this, I will analyze this further, but I want to deal with one thing that seems to really bring one's thinking. When someone says something, and it's always something true, that this person is saying this because of he do or does have experience of it. They went successfully with the dumping of the body some time ago, and no one said anything. In the river, they went successfully because he wouldn't point out the river. And then for the mine shaft, they went successful and nothing was said or done there. No investigation or whatsoever came out of that dumping of the body in the mine shaft and that dumping of the body in the river. So that tells us something that, these people are used to do this thing. So there should be investigation that is done, and there should be questions that are put to these people, because there is no way that at time of the incident of Black Pan, when this Black Pan robber was being interviewed in his premises or in his place, then one of the, or to say witness D said this, that he was told, that he should dump the body in the river or the mine shaft. Who said that? The call was made that, hey, the commissioner or the chief should come, because the chief will be the one who will be able to solve this, because the body or the person is no more. But there is no way for them. Chief will make a way for them where he will say, hey, look, I instruct you to do A and B and C. So with that, when the instruction came out that you should dump the body in the river or you should dump the body in the mine shaft, so now you weigh these things, that these people are used to do this thing. So there should be investigation that is being done against these people, because as they speak of something that they know. As they speak of something that they know, is because of they have many years of this experience. They've done this before. And when someone once did something of such a nature and went successfully, will again propose the same method because he knows that this method is working. So as the same goes with the chief, which is Julius Mkwanazi. They called him. He came to the scene. He entered the premises of this Brakpan robber. But because of he was called and he came over, and he knows that when it comes to investigation, his phone will ping exactly there. He had to put himself there to say that he spoke only with this person at the gate and he never made it inside, because he was then told that, hey, this is what happened. Now, with the success and everything, he was he felt that he was disappointed that there wasn't much of the thing, So with that success, he said, okay, A and B should be this way and that way. And then he left it at that. That is not true. The truth is, or the truth has been said already, that he was called and he came in. He went in and he spoke with this person who called him. And then they discussed this thing. And it is indeed that way, that because if it was not in that way, first of all, witness D wasn't gonna say, okay, I'm gonna drive this body with my car. No. He was called, the chief was called, and he came over to listen. And actually, he was informed. He came fully prepared. He was informed of the incident that occurred. He said, look, don't panic. I'll make my way there. He went there. When he got there, he did not stand at the gate. He went inside the premises of the Brakpan robber. So when he got there, he saw the body. The only thing that was playing in his mind was, look, we are used to solve these problems. Don't worry about this. This is a problem that is easy for us to solve. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to instruct one of you guys to go and dump the body. But who has the marked vehicle? Now, witness D was driving a marked vehicle. They then suggested that it should be witness D because he is driving a marked vehicle and he won't be pulled over by any, because he is driving a marked vehicle. So the route for him will be easy. To get there, it will be easy. So they did so. They drove off from the scene, or he drove off from the scene with that marked vehicle. The body was there. He dumped the body. After dumping the body, he went back, home. When he got home, he was completely not himself. As he says, or as he said, he was not himself. Because, the spirit of someone speak even if that person is no more. Will speak. Now the body was dumped in the river. Now they cleared the scene, and they made sure that they won't put anything. Remember, the Brakpan robber, he brought to one of these the people who are interviewing him that, hey, I do have money. Please let me, or set me free. I do have money to give you guys. Please, I've got a bag of money in a specific place. And that was indeed checked, and then it was found to be 500,000 rand. That was in a bag that the Brakpan robber pointed out. So when everything was settled, the body is dumped already. They then saw an opportunity that they should now make a use of that money. And they made it sure that they don't say anything about that crime scene. And I'm very sure of one thing. that they never submitted any evidence, anything. They didn't do or put anything as part of exhibit, because of they did not want to be linked to that house or to those premises of a black barn robber, the deceased. They did not want that. So, with this bigger picture, with so much of things that are happening, and there is still more that is going to come out, then now, as MADLANGA Commission was established, as it came to light, so many witnesses were called. And as so many witnesses were called, Julius Mkonazi was called because he is a MPD commissioner of that time. He was called as someone who was also implicated, or his name was mentioned. Look, the first appearance of him, he made a use of water there. He drank water a lot. He drank water a lot, and even media was buzzing, with his images, drinking water, his photos were all over, drinking water like nobody's business. And some of the people that were part of MADLANGA Commission, they had to go and buy another batch of water now because a lot of water was used by one person. He was very nervous. He appeared very, very nervous, and at that time, I picked up something. Some of the questions and some of the things that were said by Witness D, I did pick them up, that no matter what he can say, he knows something and he did something. And indeed, he made mention of one thing, actually two. He said he don't want to go to jail. He have like small kids to take care of. And that happened on his last day. That was Thursday last year. It was his last day because he had to come back again, in January. The next day, Friday evening, Witness D was assassinated. Witness D was assassinated, and as he cited words that he doesn't want to go to jail. Why would you be so strongly believing that you will be going to jail, but there is nothing at this moment that puts you to jail or that says you are going to jail? There is no case, there is nothing. Why? Then Witness D was taken out, eliminated, and later it was made known that one of the persons who are also part of this thing of a black barn robber was involved, So we now know that there is someone who is arrested, and the person who was involved also in this shooting, he decided to take himself out of the picture. And we now know that witness D is no more, and the other implicated person is no more. And there is one person now who is alive, who is a former task force member from the police. So as a well-trained person, and it was said that the person who took out witness D used a high caliber AK-47 around. So with that, it was said that he's a well-trained person, is a professional assassinator, because he took him from a very far distance. So with that, when they said that, or when they reported that on the news, I was convinced also that this could be someone, one of those people that were employed by Ket Mashala, or one of the other persons, who employed these former task force members. So I was like convinced that it could be one of them. And indeed I was right. I was right. But now we'll discuss this further, or we'll break it as time goes by, this further, where witness the assassinator is trying now to push this case far from him, because he is now coming with one thing, as he is trying to be released on bail. He is now saying that the person who was involved, it's not him. And he says that he was there, but one street away from the main of the incident. He is trying